we're going to dive into the last section of this short form video process, which is looking at the short form video we created that's now been out there for over a week, and it's time to reflect. This is part 5 of the series from ideas to posted, where we have looked at the entire process of producing a short form video for social media platforms. So we have done the idea, the plan, the filming, the edit, and this section, this final part, is the reflection section. So we're going to look back, we're going to look at numbers, decisions, and learnings. Okay, so let's get started. And first of all, we're going to look at numbers. Now, I wasn't going to remember all the numbers, so I've written down some of the numbers and the key points. The 2 platforms that we looked at were and posted our short form video to were Instagram and YouTube Shorts. So let's take a look at these numbers. So I've done the stats, the short form video stats here. And as you can see, total views, 3.3 thousand. I'll get to if it's good or bad in a second. Then we've got likes at 83, total comments 10, and total shares 4. Now, as you're going to see from the lower part where I've split it down into Instagram and YouTube Shorts, is majority of the engagement came from Instagram. Now, views, 1.8k. Now, this is actually really good. I used the Reels trials feature. So it didn't actually hit, well, it's said to have not hit, and how the trials feature works, that it doesn't hit my main audience. It kind of puts it out there to an audience that might not know what I create. Much, much better than normal. So I'm normally getting at the moment when I post a reel, which is very few and far between, which is maybe part of the problem. It's not very consistent. Between 250 and 400. So loads better, which is great to see. Average view time was 14 seconds. Likes was 57. Comments 10. Shares 4. So this engagement was the thing that probably helped me most get my 1.8k views. YouTube Shorts, as you can see, 1.4k, so a little bit less on the views, and it does it by top 10, which I'll show you. And in the last 7 days, that's come third in terms of performance with the last 10 videos. So not too bad. View time, really good. 33 seconds on average, as opposed to the 14 seconds. So that will come to our points later on. One of the things I want to point out about Instagram, and I think it performing well on trials, which rarely happens for me. I mean, I have an example of a trial reel that I put that got 1 view, 83 likes, 10 comments, 4 shares, and only, I would say at this stage, if you're trialing audience out, 3.3k, which isn't the greatest, which tells me you've got to kind of get a lot of engagement to get those views up, and a lot of views and a longer view time. Obviously, it was only 14 seconds. These are some of the key points made on the decisions. Now, remember that we came from the idea and the plan, okay? So we had the idea first, then we had the plan of the shots, then we've had the edit we put out there. And this is me now reflecting on things that I think went well, things to consider, things that could go better, and things that I'll probably try to stick to. So Instagram performed better, outperforming normal numbers, so that's great. And for trial reels, that's great. But one thing I did consider and to think about is, and I don't know if it's weighted in any way, but it's something to think about. I edited this in Instagram edits, so it's their app, and posted it straight through that and out to their audience. So I used, some of their fonts, some of their text, all that kind of stuff. Does Instagram recognize that as a stronger push than if I'd edited outside and then posted it? They might say no, but the opposite of that is I then downloaded that video and I posted it to YouTube Shorts. Does it get downgraded on YouTube Shorts because of that? And one of the key things was, and I come to here that I thought was a good decision overall, but also something that would have affected it, is the song I chose. So I chose Wonderwall by Oasis because for the video, it was the popular thing. It was the thing that they were doing at the end of, and obviously a lot has changed since I posted this video. That was kind of probably the hype performance of the England team. And since then, unfortunately, they're no longer in the tournament. In terms of having voiceover versus the song, I basically let the song be part of that atmosphere and then let the images and the different sounds of what was going on in the video to tell the story. I could have had a voiceover. I think that was the better choice, but you would never know. And some of this A/B testing that you can do was to have one with a voiceover and one with a song, see what performs better. I probably should have started with something maybe a little bit more engaging at the front edit. The celebration was probably the key moment of us all kind of like celebrating, hugging each other, jumping up and down. That I should have put that at the beginning, engage the people, then told the story. That's kind of how short form videos work these days. So I should have been a bit more conscious of that. And instead I stuck to a linear story. When it comes to the next point, it could have been shorter. I probably should have aimed, and if you look at the 14 seconds on Instagram, 33, between 25 and 45 seconds would have pushed the audience to just watch that little bit more. I would have got complete views maybe. So definitely something to consider for the future. And also, can there be a part 1, part 2, part 3, or can you tell 3 different types of stories? Get more content out of the video that I created. And then, could I have posted it sooner? So I didn't post it till like a week later, I think. It must have been a week later, or at least 5 days later. Could I have got it out? Now, for the point of this series, it didn't kind of work that way. But something to really look at is, can you hit a trend? Can you hit a hype that's in your niche or things that you care about, and kind of roll with it as soon as that happens, because as it dies out, it just might not perform as well. Now, it will never be a waste of content. Now, what I mean is sometimes we produce content for our audience that just doesn't really hit, and it's not really what we would want to do or what we do, but we do it anyway because it's what we think audience, or we're trialing an error. For this, for me, it'll always be a great video because it was a memory that I made with my family. So it'll never be a waste of content. It'll never be a waste of what I produced or time. And obviously I've done this series because of it as well. And there's more for this series to come. So the pace and variety of shots. I think the pace was good, and I think the variety was good. What I don't think is good is could have been shorter, and that pace, that some of the shot choices at the beginning could have been better. But actually overall I thought that did well. There was a lot to keep people engaged, coming back to the clock, going to locations, going to celebrations, going to this TV screen. And what I would say about sharing experiences as well is we do things that are experiences, and people want to know what it was like to do that. So what about all the people that didn't stay up until 2 a.m. to watch the game and kick off with their family? So when you have an experience, there is probably something that will perform fairly well if you can share it and give your opinion and show what it was like and put the emotion and the story behind it. So that's my summary, and these are some of the things that I've got to make sure I think about and take into my next video for the next part of this series. I can promise one thing: even though I will do it as part of the ideation, it will not be about football, not just England, but it will not be about my football club or anything that I enjoy about it. We'll change it up. We'll try to do a completely different type of video to see how that performs. Until the next one, I'm Ray. Peace.